see Monday, it's the locker room, and it's like, I know, a mix and match of world football topics today as the final tickets to Russia 2018 are being stamped or not being stamped, for that matter. We have the Soccer Bowl to look back on too. So, coming up on today's show, we will be talking World Cup qualifying, the NASL final, some love for the goalkeepers, and the top 5 goals. Ray Hudson, Christian Vieri, Thomas Rongan, and Gareth Bale.
That's fine.
We are talking about Gareth Bale a little later on the show. Listen, it's a topsy-turvy day. It was a tense night at the San Siro for Italy. They faced Sweden in the second leg of World Cup qualifying, their playoff. And for the first time since 1958, we will not be seeing Italy in the World Cup finals. Christian Vieri.
Got tears the size of pineapple chunks running down his face before this show.
I feel like many of us
No World Cup without Italy. I'm going to boycott no the United States, no Netherlands.
Did you put the Jack Daniels I asked?
That's for me.
Christian, where does the blame lie?
Wow. Listen, I need 3-4 hours. But we ain't got 3-4 hours, right? What I'm going to say, I'm shocked. We don't go to the World Cup. It's crazy. But I have to say one thing. In the 2 games that we saw against Sweden, I think we don't deserve to go to the World Cup. I think we didn't do enough.
For 2 years, we've watched this team. They, you know, not as an Italian, as an Argentine, as an Englishman. But I watched this team, and they have never compelled me. They've never convinced me. And really have they, and they didn't seem to learn either. After Spain beat them for 3-0, then the fire alarms went off, right? All the alarms went off, and they lurched. They just kept on spinning. There was no traction. The change of the personnel from this coach, who is all gone, of course. But I think the big responsibility, Gary, comes down to Ventura in a big way.
Sure.
And the players absolutely weren't good enough. But the
you're
coach,
spot on. The players weren't
terrible.
good enough, but there was one player who can turn a match in Insigne. He comes on as a sub in the first leg, and we go, okay, no problem. He's going to start, or at worst, he'll come on and play a part. Doesn't come on at all. And he's the one I felt who could have opened things up, who could have provided a little bit of an X factor. And he never. And I'm looking at the coach going, Coach, what is he doing?
Interesting scenes on the bench talking about this. What Gary's talking about is that when De Rossi is told, you know, maybe you're coming on, he says, we're not playing to draw now. We need to win, and points towards Insigne. So that's the players showing that they also can see there's a problem with the coach in that.
A few things stood out to me. When Insigne came in for Verratti, was that in the first game?
Yeah,
and he talked to his teammates, and they went like, "Where are you going?" He goes, well, "I don't know. I got to play centrally, supposedly." You know, there was a body language there. 4 or 5 players looking at the coach right there as well. But this is not, as Bobo says, this is not a very good team. By the way, the last 4 games, 1-0 at home against Israel, 1-1 against Macedonia, and 0-1 against Albania.
Yep.
Sweden, by the way, played 8 tough games. The Netherlands, Bulgaria, France as well. They were more battle-tested. And by the way, they get guys who play in the Arabian Gulf Coast.
Okay, so how did Conte manage to do so well with a lesser team, you could argue, in the Euros last year?
I think the coach has to be the boss. He has to know what he's doing, and everyone has to follow him. Maybe in these 2 years, this didn't happen. Conte is very hard. He has his idea, and that's the way he's going to go. I think he changed too many times the formation. Sure. You know, but the thing is, I want to say is that the group stage, we knew that we were going to rise second, okay, because Spain is too strong for us, okay. This is the place where we're supposed to be, the playoffs. But we thought that the 2 games wouldn't, you know, Italy would have done more. You cannot just defend the whole game. You've got to attack. Even if you have an amazing defense. Or you just can't wait for them. You just can't wait. You got to go attack. When you have the ball, you've got to go attack. You're supposed to have the players to go attack. And I think that we had one chance after 2 minutes in Sweden, and that's it. That's it.
And it wasn't like you're unlucky. There's 2 blatant handballs that weren't given. Chiellini should have got a second yellow.
For both sides. For both.
But I mean, there's no way Italy can say, "Oh, we were unlucky, we were robbed." They had all the decisions. But here's the thing for me. I'm sad because we probably, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but we probably have seen the last of Buffon.
Yeah, he's announced it now.
He just announced it.
On the international
Barzagli,
scene,
Bonucci, who by the way is having a shocking season. Bonucci, De Rossi. How many great players are we going to have we seen the last of
today?
Hopefully
Candreva as well.
And the other thing is that at home today, I think with 75,000, of course they're not going to play it, but they're going to push you. And I think that they didn't start the way they were supposed to start. If I'm the team, the coach, I'm going to say, you know what? We've got to keep them over there. We're going to go press them. We're going to make them kick the ball because there's only one striker up front. Get the ball and put pressure on them. Go play on the wings and put pressure the whole 90 minutes. Then what happens? What happens? But we didn't do that. We were just like playing slowly.
Really?
Like the draw was okay for us. You know, and it's not enough for an Italian team. You have to we didn't have a chance tonight. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. All shots from outside. How can you win games like
Even
that?
at half time, I thought, you know, the nervousness, the weight of that blue shirt in San Siro, you know, where they've never lost, you know, for God knows how long. It was, you know, you can't understand it from an Italy team, but there was that element. But at half time, Thomas, doesn't it change? Right. I didn't see any sort of a change. It was just, you know, lobbing balls into the middle. It was like bloody England 20 years ago.
Last week we talked about England, the 3-5-2, and we all agree that players determine the system, not the other way around.
Yeah. Right.
This team was set up perfectly like a Roma Napoli out of a 4-3-3. And Bo was said, listen, they play with one. Play 2 versus 1 right here. Get 2 attacking fullbacks.
And
they
let
play
them
up here.
go.
And then
Push
let the 2
them high.
right players become wingers.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Sweden now can't sit in. They got to get stretched.
Right.
And now you come central. Tactically, just incredibly.
When you're too scared, that's how you play.
That's the key.
Too scared. Sometimes they didn't even have a striker, and we had 3 in the back.
Yeah.
And then what I think is that in the national team, you've got to play who's in form in that moment.
Sure.
You've got Insigne and Sharawi. They've been amazing in the Serie A. You could see Sharawi when he came on, those 25 minutes. For me, he came on too late. Because at the end of the second half, no changes. Belotti, you got to put him straight away. Sharawi, Insigne. I think they're just too scared. Like, let's see what happens 20 minutes to the end, half an hour to the end.
But what about Sweden? I mean, to be fair to Italy, and Italy didn't play
A
well.
quick one on Sweden, because we've got to really talk about it. We're going to talk about Sweden.
Sweden didn't give them one moment,
Yeah.
not one error, not one mistake in 2 legs. And they made it very difficult for Italy. Italy couldn't rise to the occasion.
Do you think that then makes questions of UEFA qualifying, the way they've done it this year, that if you do finish second in your group, or can you not look at that?
No, I don't think
it's
that's fair to comment like that. I mean, Sweden were the essence of a team. Everything about them was a team. You look at France, it's the same. You look at Spain, it's the same. And this team has talent. It wasn't utilised anywhere near how it should have been.
Can I say something else?
Yeah.
The Italian team, like when you want to play long balls, it's okay. But when you play long balls, the midfielders have to be 10 meters behind the strikers. They can't be 30 meters.
Right.
Because if they don't get it, the Swedish are going to get the ball. Our midfielders weren't even going up. Weren't even putting pressure, weren't even staying behind our strikers. Never happened.
We could pick this apart all day, but I was looking for a Baggio or a Pirlo or a Cassano, a player of that sort of craft.
He was there. He was on the bench.
Right, he was there. He was on the bench. Perfectly
But hey, listen, give Sweden some
No,
credit.
we will, and we'll
Big
talk
time.
about Sweden next summer, and
Vikings.
honestly, we'll get to it. They've done amazing, but right now we must concentrate on Italy and what's happened. There's going to be plenty of time to talk about Sweden.
What I'm going to say is Sweden's got 5 guys playing in Sweden. That tells me that Italy stinks. It's not good enough. Not even close.
Because I want to stick with the coach right now. You say that not utilising the talent properly, Ray. There's so many coaches in Italy. We're seeing how well they're doing on the scale in the leagues across the world. Conte, Ranieri, Di Francesco, all these coaches. Why was Ventura the man for the
they're all
Italian
coaching
job?
teams too, by the way. So you can't get a coach that's coaching a team. I think they went with a guy that's 70 years old, has experience, but not international experience. I think you need another sort of coach. But let me tell you one thing. We can blame the coach. Okay, his tactical stuff, players. Okay, but I go on the field. I play. When I play, I never listen to the coach what he tells me. Don't worry. Let me do what I have to do. You know what I mean? So the players have to step up as well, because you're playing for that blue shirt. That blue shirt, like you said, is a very heavy shirt. So it's not easy to play, but you've got to give more. All the players have to give more. More is you got to give everything.
Would you not say now that the talent this year for Italian players is the worst you've probably seen in 30 to 40 years?
Gary, after
it's
2006,
I mean, you go back to 2006
our
was
generation
a good team.
finished.
Yeah,
and we haven't had big
Why not?
players since. I don't know why, because you can't have. We've had talent for 40 years.
Let me ask
40
you
years.
talent.
40
Great
years.
talent,
Now we're in a situation where we haven't got great talent. The Serie A is becoming higher because we have a lot of teams that are getting better, but we haven't got good Italian players that can play for the national team. One thing's playing for the Serie A, Ray.
Yeah.
One thing's playing Serie A, they're scoring goals in the Serie A. Okay.
Yeah.
One thing, let me tell you one thing. I told you, when I played, I used to play all the Italian games, Champions League, and I was okay. When I played for the 2 World Cups and for the national team, the day before, I was okay. The morning, my heartbeat was already faster.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, sure.
So that makes you think.
Sure.
You're playing for that blue team.
Right.
It's not Inter Milan. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
The blue team is different.
Sure. Sure.
And just waking up in the morning and preparing a World Cup, my heart rate was already higher.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That means tension. And one thing's playing for your club, one thing's playing for the national. And when you have a team like Italy, Brazil, Argentina, those big teams, Germany, it's different. It's different.
Huge pressure.
It's not It's not like playing for your club.
And you're right. What I miss is this Italian team. If you look back, all the way back to the years that you're talking about, there were 2 or 3 over your dead body defenders, tough, hard-nosed, up front guys that could dish it out, like Vieri, guys that wanted to sacrifice. There was no desperation in the last 20 minutes. You got to be desperate. You got to be hard. You got to throw things forward. You got to make it hard on them. The crowd was out of it. It was just a weird game.
The Italy of yesteryear, it looks as if it's, I don't want to say gone, but there are players perhaps as well that I think in retrospect, I look at the Gagliardinis, those types of players, young players, that maybe now in retrospect, Insigne molded into this team, folded into this team a lot more, successfully in games gone past. And this is what's happened. I mean, this is catastrophic for world football. I mean, this World Cup is going to be diluted now, especially in this country, now that the United States aren't in, and then Italy's not there. This is going to be one of the worst.
Is it time to push the reset button in Italy? Is it time to look at youth development?
Federation.
Is it time?
The federation
said
should have been looked at first.
The president should resign. Am I correct? Is that what you said?
After today, president of the federation, first thing has to resign. The coach probably will. He's not going to coach the national team, but the president has to resign. You got to get young people that know about football in the Italian federation. Enough with these.
You're not there.
No.
Next summer, you're out.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci, Christian
Very similar to
Vieri.
the US, you've said, Boba. Get football people in
And
those
you.
positions.
You got to get
Holland.
people. What about Holland? You got to get people. You need a change.
But listen, this brings it
Last
home.
point,
We're
'cause we've
looking
got to
at
go
the
to
United
break.
States, and we're all very sad about the States. That was, in its own way, it's a catastrophe. Doesn't compare to this one.
Of course.
Italy,
Italy, Holland,
doesn't.
it's a catastrophe.
But doesn't it make football? Isn't that what it's about? It's every
Football,
once in a
Sir
while.
Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, football or soccer, isn't it? Isn't that what
No,
it's about?
these
Is
things-
nobody's guaranteed.
No,
This
but
England's
Gary,
been out
Gary.
before.
But England's always out. They don't
What
do
do you mean
nothing in the
England's
World
always
Cup.
out?
Yeah,
Come
even
on.
when they're
They
in
don't
the
do
rounds.
it. They're-
Yeah,
when
but
they-
England have changed things
We
at
won
the
the World
grassroots
Cup.
now, and things
Huh?
are starting to
They
look
would
better. So
fall.
maybe there's something
No,
that's
no,
going
they
to
wouldn't
happen
have a
like that in
17
Italy
World
right now.
Cup,
Maybe
under
this is
20
a
They had
World
wake-up
good
call.
players. They had good players now.
I'm just starting to realize that I'm actually worse shape than you are. US and the Netherlands.
Yes.
You think you're got it.
So we better move on
Oh,
before it
knows
gets
that-
too
only
sad.
Holland. No one knows about the US soccer.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, bye, guys.
Cheers,
We'll see you
guys.
later.
Cheers, guys.
Willie's just out there at fair. We also have one of the funniest what I love that I've seen in ages, and hopefully these two will come back.
We're not coming back.